Well, hello, beautiful soul, Pisces. This is your reading for November. Sorry, I'm not on camera. It's actually the middle of the night because I was lazing around and taking a nap. So this is what we're going to do. Timestamps are going to be below. Okay, Pisces. So, general, love, and then spiritual message. You can timestamp the jump between the three if you like. But first, we're going to talk about the overall energy for November. Um, let's talk about it. But the bottom of the deck, you have the seven of wands in reverse, and that's on the bottom of the deck. Now, with that energy, it just tells me that you're tired of, you may have been going through a defensive period in November, like feeling like things are not going well or something isn't going in your favor. And it's a I feel like you need to pay attention to why you're feeling like that or what is making you feel that way. I feel like that's important overall. Okay, so then we have intuition and manifestation and friends and colleagues. Okay, this is actually a really good time to investigate what kind of friends you have, what kind of people you surround yourself with, and what you actually need in November. Like you can be like, oh, I want to be around all these people who have high status, and at not knowing that maybe you're piggybacking off of that energy. But maybe you need more people that are down to earth. Maybe you need something different than what you perceived at one time you needed, right? And I feel like that's where the defensiveness is coming in. It's like, oh, I don't do that. I've never done that. I've never had those type of people in my life. I've never had this kind of energy in my life. And I don't want that. But it's like, is this what's good for me? Is this what I want now? I feel like from this energy, there is a need to self evaluate what was, what is, and what will be in your life when it comes to friends, when it comes to what you put your who and what you put in your environment, and what actually is good for you, versus what you think is good for you, if that makes any sense. Okay, so let's pull out 9 cards and get started. So we're going to start with the Star, the Hierophant in reverse. I'm going to keep the reversals. The Four of Cups in reverse. The Knight of Swords. The Page of Pentacles in reverse. Yes, definitely a lot of reevaluation. Ace of Swords. Seven of Swords in reverse. Or I'm sorry, Eight of Swords in reverse. I apologize. The Hermit in reverse. And last but not least, the Strength in reverse. Yeah, November is definitely a take on your willpower. Your willpower to accept change, to let change come in, like your stubbornness. Like, I've always done it this way, or this is the way it is. I don't want to change it. I feel like it's a take on that. There's a need in November to change that mindset or change that ideal. It's coming in to change your focus because it looks like something that you're focused on or something that you thought at one time doesn't really fit you the way that it did before. I can definitely see that, especially with these major arcana cards in reverse. There's a need to do some self-reflection here, okay? Because really what it is it's almost keeping you blocked. It's almost stopping real love from coming in. It's stopping you from feeling connected. Some of you may be feeling like you're always lonely or people don't understand. And this old idea or this old structure that you're holding on to is creating that kind of environment for you. And this is a good way to like get rid of that or to move on from that energy. So I feel like you always have hope, Pisces. I want to say that. You always have hope. You always think that things will go well. And you try to communicate that. You try to make that happen for you. And when something does feel good or look good, you tend to follow it because, you're like, I want my dreams to come true. I want my wishes to come true. I have these high hopes for things, and that's good for me, right? But I feel like your environment or the way that you go about achieving them or what you have believed about a certain situation really blocks you from experiencing what you want. And from what I'm seeing here, it looks like you are on the precipice or on the edge of experiencing something, but it doesn't fit the normal pattern. It doesn't fit the grain. And you have to reconnect to what the original dream was or what it is that you want to accomplish. You're trying to call something in, but it's asking you to change or asking you to go a different direction, and you're fighting it because that's not how it's always been done. Okay. So it's asking you to almost step out of yourself in that way. Let me see. Yeah, you've definitely had a pattern with the Knight of Pentacles and the Queen of Cups. This may be for love for some of you. There's a pattern in your love life, and this is trying to break that pattern. The thing is, you have to kind of have a little bit of sacrifice or have a little bit of, you have to let go in order to achieve this thing that's next. It's like you have to allow yourself to experience something new, even though it's scary, even though it goes against the grain of what you may have set in your mind. It's like it will be what you want. It just it just doesn't look like it. But it's actually good for you in that way. Almost like it helps you grow. It helps you build more stable relationships with people, with lovers, and the lot. Okay? Okay. I don't know why I just didn't move that back. It would have made life so much easier. Okay. Yeah, I feel like you feel like you are expressing yourself. And that's what's interesting about this. You feel like you're expressing yourself. You feel like you're saying what you need to say. You feel like you're communicating what you need to communicate, but it's not getting you the results that you want. I feel like you need to become more clear on what it is that you want. It's like you have this idea, and it's like you're expressing through the old feelings and the old energy and the old thoughts and the old ways of doing things. Okay, so for example, let's say that you want to be successful at work, right? But you're not taking the new classes that you need to take in order to get the position, but you're wondering why you're not getting the position. And, in the olden days, and I say that like it's a long time ago, but in the olden days, it's like, if I work hard, then I'll get it. But really, you need to have like a certain certification to get it. So let's say in love, you've always been a person to expect another person to come towards you, right? But you have someone that you really like or that you're connecting to, but they're not a person that does that. So this is like the energy is like, yeah, you're saying that you like this person, you're telling them that you care, but you're not putting in that extra effort. So there is a sense of compromise, but it's more of reevaluating how to achieve what it is that you want, because the old way just doesn't work the same way anymore. So we have the 9 of Wands and the 10 of Cups. Yeah, the 10 of Wands, excuse me, and the 10 of Cups. So this tells me that really you're on the precipice of something changing. And I feel this in your energy, Pisces. Like something wants to change, something wants to shift, but it's a lot of responsibility on you, which means that you have to take some sort of put some sort of energy in that you really kind of don't want to, because it may feel unfair to you. But on the other side of that heavy door is happiness and emotional fulfillment. So it's more like when you push over that edge, when you do this certain thing, and it could be just being very clear with a person and telling them that you love them, or being more vulnerable. Um, I feel like this will open up that door for you, right? Because I feel like there's a person that doesn't feel like you really want to be in anything long term, even though you're expressing it. It could be that, or it could be that this person isn't ready for anything long term, but you need to be clear with them on what it is that you want. We'll get into the love energy, but I feel like this is more about that is the energy that's pushing you. Okay. Yeah. So what I'm seeing here is you need to express what it is that you want in relationships and friendships and connections. You need to be open and vulnerable here. Okay. Because I feel like you're keeping a lot to yourself. Um, you know, you're keeping a lot to yourself. It's like you don't want people to see how you really feel, because maybe they'll take it as a weakness, or maybe someone will use you. But you have to focus on what it is that you're trying to achieve. Yeah, you need to speak your mind. You need to speak your mind about things that don't fit, or things that aren't right, or things that aren't compatible, or things that don't work. Okay, because that's how you either you resolve them. It's not up to you to just stick into something and play it until the end. It's like you have to stand up for yourself and not be a victim, whether it's on purpose or by accident. Okay. All right. So let's go into your love energy. Okay, Pisces, let's get into your love energy. Okay, let's pull an oracle card first for you, Pisces. Oh, I'm sorry, a tarot card. So you're starting off with the Eight of Cups. Okay. This is walking away, okay? Walking away from the old and into the new. This is more like emotional availability for you, Pisces. That's been a lot of your talk here for November, especially in the general. Honeymoon, pay attention to the red flags. Yeah. Um, Also, everything will not be perfect. Okay, is what I'm getting from this. Everything will not be perfect. I also feel like you have someone that's pretty good for you on some sort of terms. Okay. I do feel like you it almost feels like you're feeling like you want to run away. Um, but everything is good. Okay. I feel like it's coming from you in some way in an emotional space. Okay. Uh, like maybe you're reading too much into it, or you're a little bit too emotionally like triggered maybe by what's going on. Um, but it looks like you need to experience some unknown about this. So let's get into it. Okay. I want to do a Celtic cross on this one for you. Okay. So we have the King of Pentacles, the Page of Cups, the Queen of Cups, the Seven of Cups, the World, the Four of Swords, Three of Swords, Three of Cups, Three of Pentacles, and the Nine of Pentacles. So in November, you're feeling a little stuck in the relationship. I feel like you have taken some sort of risk because you wanted some sort of new beginning. All of this is focused on you wanting some new energy in the relationship, or wanting something to happen. and you're feeling like things are stuck or things aren't growing or things aren't expanding. But what is confusing to me here is I don't know if like who's at fault. Not to say that anyone's at fault, but it's more like, oh, it's you, it's them. It just feels like things are at a standstill, but I can't figure out how. Because I feel like you want a new beginning, Pisces. Okay. Um, yeah. So I feel like you're starting to get rid of illusions, like illusions of what this relationship is or what love is. A lot of it has to do with when you first meet someone, you start to get the realism of what's going on. Yeah, with the Two of Wands in reverse. So it's like the realism of what is happening. The direction it's slowing down. You may feel like, oh, maybe we're not going anywhere, maybe we're not going to expand. It could be that you honestly had a conversation and reality hit about how the relationship was going to be or how this person was going to be, because I kind of get that as well. It takes the kind of like the fun and the excitement out of it because it has gotten real, especially with this King of Pentacles. This is more about solidifying a relationship. So it's at the point where you're starting to see, like, is this something that I definitely want to hold on to? Um, am I being over possessive of this relationship, or is this something that will be healthy for me? I feel like things are getting really settled, especially with the Page of Cups being in the challenge position. So it means that it's not as flirty and as fun. It's getting serious, like a real relationship, or maybe your partner is like working all the time or they're busy. It's like they're being a boss, or they're focusing on their thing and you want to be more flirty or have more fun or go on trips. So be careful at this time of trying to get this person's attention by not be I'm gonna say being crazy, but like being childish, or maybe, also it could be that they're working a lot and you're seeing it as we're not spending enough time with each other. And I don't feel like you want to end it by any means because there's a level of stability here, but it just feels like you want more fun or more excitement or more of their attention. But I would say that you need to be careful about how you're expressing that, with that King of Cups in reverse. Okay. Um, but I don't feel like it's completed, especially with the World card in reverse. It's like there's something that needs to be worked on, but I don't feel like, and that's why it was interesting about this Eight of Cups. I didn't feel like you wanted to walk away. I didn't feel like you wanted to leave, but I feel like you want things to change, Okay. So you're starting to feel in your heart that things are ending, that this cycle is completing, that the relationship is not as good as it was, and you're getting really nervous about it. Yeah, you're questioning the direction on which and where things are going and why maybe someone is pulling back. Okay. Um, I see you being more nurturing and caring, or trying to. I feel like you're trying to push things along with the Three of Wands and the Ace of Cups in reverse. I feel like you're trying to push things along, but you're still, because things are like disconnected. So this is like trying to bring some fun in, trying to be loving, trying to be caring, trying to be supportive, but inside you're thinking, oh my God, this relationship is going to end. I will say this: in November, I do feel like your partner does wake up with this Four of Swords in reverse. I feel like they had a lot in their mind about where things were going or what was happening, and I don't feel like they're really expressing with the Page of Swords in reverse. They're not really expressing how they feel. They may have been a little defensive or a little off-putting, but I feel like that things are going to change. There is a new beginning. It's like things are going to start up again, or things are going to start over and away. During this time, you're feeling a little hurt. You're feeling a little distant from your partner. But I feel like you will forgive them and you'll move forward. It's like, oh, okay, well, things are back to normal. Maybe it was just my emotions. Let's move forward. I do feel like this is an indication for you, Pisces, that everything isn't going to be butterflies and rainbows. There is a time where, uh, things will have their ups and their downs. And you have to deal with those emotions when they come up. Don't let your friends start talking you into bad decisions. Don't try to get their attention by trying to make them jealous. It's like try to do things in a healthy, kind of normal, balanced way. Don't let your emotions get ahead of you. So then we have the Seven of Wands and the Page of Pentacles in reverse to clarify that Three of Cups. And this is about that defensiveness. Yeah, trying to be defensive, trying to do things to get a person's attention or get a person's focus. But you need to reconnect to what it is you're actually trying to make happen. Okay? Because you don't want to let your emotions kind of overflow on you and cause you to do something that you may regret later. So, Three of Pentacles in reverse for hopes and fears. Your fear is that things are not working. That's what it is, that you don't work well together. I don't feel like that's what it is, but I do feel like for some of you, their work or their business or something will take them away. Sometimes there may be trips involved or traveling. I feel for some of you, they may take this person away, but I feel like it's not anything negative. It's kind of like, I want to say it gives me that kind of, it's a part of life that I want to say to you, Pisces. It's a part of a relationship, like a real one, like a long-term one. Yeah. So I feel like with this energy, some of you may end up by yourself because you may not emotionally make it through this. I'm going to be honest with you. But for a lot of you, the focus here is to learn how to be okay by yourself when your partner is busy or going through something or need time apart because you both are individuals. Knight of Pentacles and the Queen of Cups in reverse. That's telling me that, things can still go steady without this person's attention every now and then. Okay? That's what, yeah. See? You're still building, you're still growing. It's just that sometimes their attention will be on other things or their focus will be on other things. It doesn't mean that they love you any less. Okay? Okay. All right, Pisces. So let's get to your spiritual message. All right, Pisces. Let's get a brief spirit message for you. So the first card that we have is Impatience, Enlightenment, and Service. Okay. So the first thing I see here is that you are expressing yourself, yes, but you have to consider where you're expressing yourself from. Okay? You're expressing yourself from a space where you kind of want what you want when you want it, right? This is a time to look kind of beyond you. So express what it is that you want, yes, but you have to understand that other people have their own way, or they may not respond the way that you want. They may not interact the way that you want, but it doesn't mean that they're not listening or that you're not getting through. Okay. I feel like this time is really indicative, I guess I want to say, of how you work with others, and how others work in your life. Are they there to almost enhance you, or are they there for you because they do what you want them to do? It's one of those things where it's like, are you connecting with people for the right reasons? Are you allowing people to be themselves and grow in themselves, as well as are they allowing you to do that? Sometimes this involves you to be vulnerable. Okay. Sometimes you'll give too much, or what you feel is too much and not receive back the right amount at this moment. It doesn't mean that it won't come back to you in the future. You're just thinking about how it is right now. And that's an interesting concept because we're always taught like to stand up for ourselves and be brave, but there are moments where we do have to be vulnerable. And this month talks about that, being vulnerable with yourself. Maybe not with others, but at least with yourself. Because it does allow movement in areas where there is stagnation. Okay? So that's what I have for you, Pisces. I love you. Okay? And I'll talk to you later. Bye bye.